Hi guys, I hope everyone is having a great weekend. I wanted to give you a little midterm review here on video. So basically the midterm is going to consist of 2 essay questions and then some multiple choice questions. I don't know exactly how many yet right now, but probably 20 or less on the multiple choice. The essay questions, I'm basically going to tell you what they are right now. The first question is going to be, you are interviewing for a position as the marketing director of an organization, and I'm going to give you a couple different scenarios or organizations you can choose from, but the question is going to be the same no matter what organization you choose. So you are interviewing for a position as the marketing director of this organization, and I'm going to ask you, what will you do in your first month on the job? So what I'm looking for here in the answer is basically you're going to assess the situation. So you want to know what the organization's mission and vision and goals are. So you need to tell me what those are, defined. You don't need to tell me what the specific mission is, but you need to define what a mission is and tell me why it's important. Define what a vision is and tell me why it's important. Then you're going to assess the situation. We've talked about a couple different ways to do that. The one we talked about most is an opportunity or a needs assessment. Again, we can break that down into a preferences assessment, what people want to do, and that's what we most commonly associate a needs assessment with. And we can also talk about societal needs or developmental needs. You're also going to want to tell me how you would go about getting this information. So how do you conduct a needs or preferences assessment? So you can talk about surveys, focus groups, key constituents. There's a whole list in that lecture of ways to do that. You're probably going to want to talk about a SWOT, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Tell me which of those are internal and external. You're going to want to talk about what the goals of the organization are. You're going to want to mention that those should be SMART. And again, the 2 letters I care most about there are the M and the T, so they're measurable and time scaled. And you may want to give me an example of what a measurable and time scaled goal or objective would look like. Your book gives a couple other ways to how to assess the situation: environmental, political. You're welcome to do those as well. As much detail as you wanted to go into that, feel free. So that's question number 1. Question number 2, again, you're going to have some scenarios to choose from, so whatever one you feel most comfortable with. But the question is basically, you've now been hired as the marketing director. Discuss what you will do based on concepts we have discussed in class. Examples of items to discuss include positioning, product life cycle, product levels, the diffusion process, competitive value, the product mix, attributes of innovation, characteristics of services, the product family or the product bundle, or any other item we discussed in class that you feel is important. Your essay should discuss at least 6 concepts in class. And what I want to see from those, from each concept, first you're going to define it, tell me what it is. That's going to be worth, let me see, the definition is 30% of that part of your essay grade. Mentioning a relevant concept is worth 10%. Then you're going to tell me why it's important. And finally, and most importantly, 50% of the essay grade is going to be, you're going to apply that concept to a specific scenario. So, for example, let's say I choose to talk about attributes of innovation. I'm going to tell you, or you're going to tell me what those are, or at least a couple of examples. So trialability, relative advantage, those are those things. So from that, you're going to want to give me a strategy for how to address one of those things. So let's say I choose to talk about trialability. So I'm going to tell you what it is, and I'm going to define that as the characteristic that allows the consumer to test your product or to kick the tires, so to speak. And then I'm going to apply it. So, for example, my nonprofit organization that I've talked to you guys about, Tennis on the Hill, one of the ways we get people to try our adult match play program is we offer a discount for first-time users. I always want to say buy one, get one free. 100% money-back guarantee is a way to address trialability. Videos, in some ways, is a neat way to do it for a service, something like a whitewater rafting trip. Just to get people to see it on video is a way they can kind of try it. So those are all examples. So you're going to want to do that for, again, 6 different areas that I want you to address. So that's your 2 essay questions. Your multiple choice is going to look like this. It's going to be 3 questions from quiz 1, and I'm going to tell you exactly what those are. It's the definition of marketing, the definition of positioning, and positioning versus branding. Those are going to be the exact same questions. I'm just going to mix up the order of responses, so don't memorize that it's C or B or whatever, because you won't get it right. But do try to get the answer directly from that quiz. There's also going to be 2 questions related to last Thursday's lecture. One of those is going to be on persuasion, and that's central versus deliberative, and one's going to be on heuristics. The remaining multiple choice questions are there to help you with your essay. So they're there to give you prompts. So for example, one multiple choice question, since we just talked about attributes of innovation, I'll mention that again. So one multiple choice question might be, all of the following are attributes of innovation except, and I would list the 4 or 5, or there's 5 of them really what they are, and then a 6th one that's not. So you could cross it out, and that way when you go to answer your essay and you say, oh, I want to talk about attributes of innovation, I can't remember exactly what those 5 are, but if there are enough in your head that you can answer the essay question, the multiple choice question, then you can go back to the multiple choice and get the answer. Another example would be, we'll probably do the matching with mission, vision, values, or mission, vision, goals, objectives again, so you'll have those definitions there. We may do some other matching, and another way, like the attributes of innovation, may be a matching question. That's actually a pretty good way to do that. But basically, again, the multiple choice questions are there to assist you in your essay. So what I want you to make sure you do is you know these definitions, you know what this stuff is enough that you can pick it out of a multiple choice question, and then you can apply it to your essay. So I don't necessarily just need you to memorize a definition for trialability, since we're hung up on that tonight. But I need you to just know it enough that you can recognize it and then apply it to the essay. As I mentioned in class, if you just don't like multiple choice questions, you can actually opt out of those, not do those at all, and I'll base your entire grade on your essays. But I think at least if you know those concepts, then the multiple choice is going to be fairly easy points and also help you towards your essay. So if you have any questions, you guys know how to reach me. I expect you're all going to do great, and I really look forward to reading your essays and see how you choose to apply these concepts. Have a great rest of the weekend. We've also posted a document on both the Facebook page, and I'm about to email it out to you. So let me know if you have any questions. Have a great weekend. We'll see you soon.